Shabbat Shalom. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
You have something for me.
This is a former member. Okay. Can you say the name for the USA?
Yeah, of course, Katie Sachs, former member. Okay, so we're just remembering Katie Sachs. Thank you. Of course. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to begin this evening on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Yon Im Melech Malachei continue with the Cantor Finding a Siddur. And we'll join together on page 7 for a reading. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide together. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Page 20, Lecha Dodi. Continue with the reading on page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. Our call to worship can be found on page 28, the Baruch Hu, and we rise. Continue with Ahavat Olam, feeling God's presence with us, feeling the love.
Oh
נשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה, נגי יומם בלילה. And We continue on page 39. Together, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue on the next page with Mi Chamocha. This week we'll be focusing a little bit extra on Shabbat, and I will say that Vishamru is what's known as the phrase from the Torah, the reading from the Torah that separates Shabbat from everything else. That every Shabbat we are reminded and we are guarding, observing Shabbat with Vishamru. Sifatai, our Amidah prayer, as we rise. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, Ufia Kiteilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch Emuno Continue on page 60. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lekol hashalom.
Thoughts now turn to those who are not well, who are needing a prayer of body, of mind, of spirit, as we join together with Misha Beirach on page 253.
Bless our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your hearing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding, and and strengthened by the power of your love. Mishemerach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mishemerach Imotenu, Sararich Aleha veRachel. May the one who bless our mothers, may the one who bless our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Pause now for silent prayer. Please rise as the ark is opened. It is a tree of life to them who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to them who are fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to
To them who hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Please be seated. This week's portion is Yitro. Last week we just crossed the sea, and now we are given the 10 Commandments, which I shall be chanting in just a moment. I hope you will join me for the blessing. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeiticha me'eretz Mitzrayim מבית עבדים לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל ואשר בארץ מתחת באשר במים מתחת לארץ לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אלקנה פוקד עוון אבות על בנים השלישים בריבעים לשונאי ועושה חסד לאלפים לא אוהבי ושומרי מצוותיי לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא זכור את יום השבת לקדשו ששת ימים תעבוד ועשית כל מלאכתך ויום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך לא תעשה כל מלאכה אתה ובנך וביתך עבדך ואמרת ובהמתך וגרך השם בשעריך כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ את הים ואת כל אשר בם וינח ביום השביעי על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו כבד את אביך ואת אמך למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לא תרצח לא תנאף לא תגנוב לא תענה ורעך עד שקר לא תחמוד בית רעך לא תחמוד אשת רעך, ועבדו במתו ושורו בחמורו, וכל אשר לרעך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה. I was personally taught to never leave a Torah naked. Lord, I shall give these laws unto thy people. Hear me, O hear me, all pay heed to the Lord. The Lord Jehovah has given you these 10 commandments for all to obey. Somehow I think this line may be very familiar to you if you have seen History of the World Part 1. In my opinion, Mel Brooks is Torah. It is one memorable moment from a movie filled with plenty of Jewish one-liners. And I imagine if our rabbi was here today, he too might be filled with one-liners in one of his top 10 sermons. I mean, the portion is kind of asking for it. But there is actually a kernel of truth in Mel Brooks' joke. There are more than 10 commandments. We encounter a list that is very similar to the 10 commandments in Exodus, and it's in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is a kind of summation or brief retelling of the laws set forth in the Torah. Thus, it makes sense that the 10 commandments would make another appearance in that retelling. However, they're not exactly the same. While in this week's portion we read that we must remember Shabbat Zachor, in Deuteronomy we are commanded to observe Shamor Shabbat. Our sages looked at this and questioned, which one did God say to Moses and all of the Israelites? Our rabbis taught that a single utterance came from God during the revelation on Mount Sinai, where both words were said at once, and thus these two verses are not conflicting. Shlomo Alkabetz even memorialized this moment in his poem, Lecha Dodi, the very first verse that we sing on Friday night, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, observe and remember, was in a single utterance. While for most of my life, or at least since I understood the structure of a week and the calendar, it has been easy to do the first part, to remember Shabbat. Friday's coming, and with it comes Shabbat. Today, my little boy came home from preschool and started singing a song called Friday Night. Friday, Friday, Friday night, night when the sun goes down. Friday, Friday, Friday night, when the sun goes down, which teaches kids that Shabbat starts Friday night when the sun goes down, and then it goes through a variety of ways that we observe Shabbat. We light the candles, and if you've ever wondered why we light 2 candles, the answer might be that one candle remembers while the other one observes. We also pour the juice, for this is how we fulfill the last part of the commandment to sanctify Shabbat. And finally, in his song, it teaches that we celebrate the finer things from creation by enjoying a rich challah bread. What kid doesn't love that? Figuring out how to best observe Shabbat is a large question. But I never thought I would have to work on remembering Shabbat. But then again, I never thought I would live through a pandemic. All of a sudden, there wasn't one day of rest, one day separating us from all the others. Days ran into each other and felt like a string of Shabbats all at once. Many times I had to ask, what day is it? Without the normal pacing of our routines, we had to question what our lives were. Many had time to actually reflect on what was important in their lives. Some even made seismic shifts, ones that we continue to feel today and will likely be feeling for a very long time. While we can make life-altering changes at any moment in our lives, if we don't really stop everything once in a while, it's almost impossible to find that still, small, quiet place where we get back in touch with ourselves and ask difficult questions. When we fully stop the work of creating and do as God did, observe what we've created and ask, is this good? That's when we actually achieve Shabbat. That's when we sanctify our time as separate from creating. The COVID-19 pandemic seems to have entered the endemic phase, and life is in its new normal. In this new period, will we continue to make holy time when we are not forced to sit in time away from creating? If we don't, can we really know who we are? Without remembering to reflect, are we breaking the commandment to remember why we have this holy time? May this Shabbat be one of true remembrance, of holy time, of reflection and peace. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise as we return the Torah to the Ark. Eitz Chaim hi lam hakazikim ba v'tomecha me'ushar d'rakecha darkeinu v'kol tivotecha shalom. Eitz Chaim hi lam hakazikim ba v'tomecha me'ushar d'rakecha darkeinu v'kol tivotecha shalom. Hashirenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chodesh Yameinu Chodesh Yameinu Kekelem. We stay standing as we turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת כלולן יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא עשנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים, ואלוהינו הנות, אמת מלכנו את בזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתינו ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Please be seated. As our thoughts turn to our loved ones that we've lost in months as well as seasons past, we remember the following yahrzeits. Blanche Goodwin, sister of Norm Rosen. Paul Reinhold, uncle of Mark Rosenberg. Stephen Roberg, nephew of Kurt Roberg. Stephanie Miller Jacobowitz, wife of Marshall Jacobowitz, mother of Emery, Hannah, and Aaron. Samuel Boymal, brother of Fanny Fishbein. Benjamin Straight, father of Lance Straight, as well as Katie Sachs, former member and friend to all. We turn to page 294 and rise as one community for those that there is no one to say Kaddish for. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba be'olama divra hirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon uvyomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, אמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, V'imru, Amen. Please be seated. I would like to call up President Michael Fishbein for announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I look forward to that all week. And you lived up to it perfectly.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Thank you. Student Cantor, Joe Flaxman for leading services once again while Rabbi Schwartz is away. And it's been a great 3 weeks. And I think everybody has enjoyed these 3 weeks and much appreciated.
Of course.
You spoke about the pandemic. The pandemic took away one of our unique traditions, which you may not know about. When we said the Misha Berach, we would form a kind of a circle holding hands in the aisle. And we would sing the Misha Berach, and it was very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful time, and we don't do it. Hopefully, we can.
God willing.
We can do it again someday. Torah study, which will be led by student Cantor Joe, meets at 10 a.m. tomorrow in the social hall, and the discussion will focus on the place of the Ten Commandments in Jewish life. Religious school is in session this Sunday, and Rabbi Schwartz will be back to meet with the confirmation class. I don't know when he's coming back. Late tomorrow. I wish him a safe journey. Our poetry garden group meets this Sunday at 7 p.m. Is that correct?
No, we're going to move it back a week because it's Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, because I had great Super Bowl jokes here about poetry and the Super Bowl, and now you've just... okay. The Board of Trustees will be meeting this Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. And for the open session, any member is invited to attend and email me, and I will send you the link to that meeting. The Adas Emuno Book Club will be meeting on March 13th, and the club is reading The Women of Rothschild by Natalie Livingston. The book focuses on the lives of several generations of the famous Jewish banking family, the Rothschilds, but it focuses on the wives and the daughters, which is a unique perspective. Our social action commitment continues as we take part in the Super Bowl food drive until Sunday, when the Super Bowl will be held. And you can drop your contributions of canned soup on the school porch in the bin. In addition, the center, of course, is still looking for baby diapers, very much in need. And I think a new collection is beginning very shortly in the next couple days. We are also collecting hot cereal, canned fruits and vegetables, or any other non-perishable food items from now through March 7th. That's the latest campaign. Again, those donations can be dropped off in the bin on the school porch. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by our Vice President, Marshall Jacobowitz. Thank you, Dylan, for once again live streaming tonight's service. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We will conclude on page 321 with Adon Olam, an ancient text, however, a melody that might be a little bit new for some.
Lord. אישן ואיירה ואם רוחי כביאתי אדוני לי ולא אירא.
Shabbat Shalom.